Hi everyone, welcome to EDY 231 to Managing Behavior in Schools video presentation. Me and my group will elaborate and talk more about one factor that affects students' learning. The order of presentation will follow the main group. Here I am is Miss Joseph. The next speaker is Miss Tynes. The next speaker is Miss Tobias. The next speaker is Miss Letty. And the final speaker is Miss Roddy. Our broad topic that we chose is peer influence or peer pressure. The universities and colleges' life is a freedom journey, which is independent research and self-discovery of the purpose of being students. In that freedom, there is always an impact that affects the students' learning through the factor called peer influence or peer pressure. According to Rodolph 2019, peer influence or peer pressure refers to the ways that affect the people's attitude, behavior, and their functioning. Peer influence have both positive and a negative impact. Positive impact can lead students to engage in healthy and supportive behavior, while negative impact can lead students to engage in risky behavior, risky academic performance, mental health. It is all about behavioral management. However, this video is all about the negative impact that affect the universities and college students. As a student of University of Goroka, we choose University of Goroka as an example to elaborate and explain some negative impact that affect students' learning all year round. The students' learning are affected through some continuous activities. 1. Alcoholism, drugs, and clubbing. 2. Exposed to negative sexual activities. 3. Procrastination and failure to complete assessment tests.
Alcoholism, drug use, and clubbing is the first impact of the peer influence of peer pressure in the university, especially University of Goroka. Alcoholism, drug use, and clubbing are significant issues on the university campus, often interwoven with social pressure and the transition to adulthood. These practices can lead to various consequences, including health problems, academic struggles, and increased risk of risky behaviors. Research from the National Institute of Health highlights the prevalence of substance use among university students, linking it to lower academic performance and increased risk. University life often involves social events where alcohol consumption is prominent, leading to a culture of heavy drinking and misuse. Especially for UOG students, it always happens on the weekends when students in their regional groups partying in Goroka Lodge or Mekedji. A study published by Taylor and Francis Online suggests that alcoholism is seen as a central part of belonging and social bonding at the university, leading to pressure to consume. This can lead to alcohol-related harm like violence, accident, and impaired academic performance. The university campus can be setting for increased exposure to various substances, including drugs. A study by the National Institute of Health suggests that drug use can be influenced by social pressure, peer groups, and desire to fit in. Drug use can lead to various negative consequences, including health problems, academic difficulties, and social isolation. Nightclubs and other entertainment venues often attract students which alcohol and drug use are commonly associated with these settings. A study by the National Institute of Health notes that a significant portion of clubbing patrons arrive heavily already consume alcohol and drugs. This can lead to risky behaviors, injuries, and negative health outcomes. Alcoholism, drugs, and clubbing can have significant negative impact on the student's life. By impaired cognitive function, increased absenteeism, and decreased motivation can affect grades and academic success. Also, health problems like physical and mental issues with risky behaviors such as unprotected sex, violence, accident, and failure to the cause. In order to control or minimize alcoholism, drug use, and clubbing, the university must addressing the rule through preventing programs, building education awareness behaviors by implementing banning of regional nightclubs like Goroka Lodge, and creating a healthy and promote a healthy campus area for the university students.
Another prevalent issue among the students is engagement in unsafe or exploitative sexual activity. Exposure to negative sexual activity simply means experiencing or coming into contact with sexual behaviors that are harmful or inappropriate. This can include sexual violence, harassment without proper context, and age inappropriate. Exposure to negative sexual activity is a critical issue or behavior affecting university students across the country. University of Goroka is a good example of it. This issue has far-reaching content not only for individual students but also for their families, society, community, and country as a whole. There are many consequences or negative results faced by the students when involving or engaging in negative sexual activities are as follows. Number 1, physical health risk. Number 2, psychological and emotional impact. 3, legal and social consequences. 4, impact on future relationship. And number 5 is unplanned pregnancy. However, here I will only talk about one issue or consequence that the female students face continuously every year. That is none other than unplanned pregnancy. Unplanned pregnancy is very common in the University of Goroka. The driving force behind young female students getting pregnant is peer influence. Students are involving in clubbing, drinking alcohol, and drug abuse because of the kind of friends they have. Goroka is a place where the price of beer is always cheap. Therefore, citizens of Goroka, including the students, go for party like every day. When the students are under the influence of alcohol, they engage in unprotected or unsafe sexual activities, which often leads to unplanned pregnancies among young female students. These pregnancies are often very challenging because majority of the girls who are pregnant are not ready for motherhood, and some girls come from a very strict family background that makes it very difficult for them to let their parents know about that. Therefore, I've seen and heard many girls involving in unsafe abortions which pose serious health risks and can even lead to death. According to Lisa March 2015, an article on the descriptive study of women's and rights care healthcare workers in the Eastern Highlands of Papua New Guinea stated that 28 women were admitted to hospital following an induced abortion. Reasons for inducing an abortion included wanting to continue with studies, relationship problems, and socio-cultural factors. Women sought care for abortions due to excessive vaginal bleeding and abdominal pain, with some afraid they would die if they do not seek help. Others manage to keep the baby and giving birth to an unplanned child is very challenging, yet comes the responsibilities. And the kind of challenges the mother faces during pregnancy affects studies that often leads to poor gradings in academic results, often lead to exclusion, self-termination, and withdrawals. This simply means it is causing a delay for them to achieve their dreams and goals in life. On the other hand, parents and sponsors waste a lot of money and resources to sponsor their studies again. Also, the parents are becoming responsible in raising their grandchildren. That puts a lot of pressure in the family in terms of child's health, well-being, and education. When the family are struggling financially, it contributes to the rise in poverty level. In addition, unplanned pregnancy contribute directly to the population increase in Papua New Guinea. Peer influence on the students is the major driving force behind University of Goroka students exposing to negative sexual activities. Then, as a result, young girls having unplanned pregnancies in the University of Goroka exposed to negative sexual activities under the influence of alcohol and drink is a very behavior problem that students has. So now, how are we going to minimize, control, and manage this behavior in the university? Individually, students need to have a self-respect and self-control. Number 2, students must prioritize their studies and must know their purpose of being here, and the purpose is to study. As unified, the university counselors and the top management team, they must set up a very strong rule or policy for the students to strictly follow, and that will help and safeguard the behavior of students.
The third peer influence that is affecting the students in the university is procrastination and failure to complete assigned tasks. According to June 2000, procrastination is described as the postponement of completion of a task or the failure to meet deadlines, even though the individual would meet advised outcomes and feel uncomfortable as a result. Or it is the way of unnecessarily delaying or postponing something despite knowing there could be negative consequences. It is a common
human experiences often seen as a negative due to its impact on productivity and potentially causing stress, anxiety, or fear. However, it can also be a strategic approach in some situations, such as waiting for more information or when a task might present risk. Due to procrastination, it leads in failure to complete assigned tasks. Procrastination in schools can lead to various consequences, including lower academic performance, leading to failure, exclusion, and termination. When this happens, it brings shame to the families and causes another burden to those who are struggling parents to look for school fees. It increases potentially long-term issues like low self-esteem and depression. As a long-term problem of procrastination in schools, it is leading to too many students with jobless around the country. They involve in drugs, alcohol, spouses, gangsters, and etc. in order to survive due to incompletion of studies. For example, here in the University of Bogota, procrastination is a big issue. A significant portion of University of Bogota students engaged in procrastination. Specifically, one study showed that 47% of the students procrastinate. According to research conducted by the university's Research and Innovation Department in 2023, procrastination in this university found that 39% of students procrastinated through varying degrees. And study also identified that there is always poor time management, lack of planning, and stress were major contributing factors. This is how procrastination is becoming the big issue here at the University of Bogota. To minimize or stop this bad behavior of procrastination, proper time management should take place, and respect yourself and know your place as a student. This will stop procrastination.
Until earlier by the preceding speakers by the impact of deviant behaviors associated with attachment of negative peer influences. Deviant, risky, or maladaptive behaviors are behavioral choices that are made when individuals have perception of risk associated with the choices or mistakenly believe the risk to be insignificant or justified. Negative peer influences is no exception of a major contributor towards these behaviors. Alcoholism, drug use, exposure to negative sexual activities, and procrastination or failure to comply to student academic obligations and responsibilities are the most present significant challenges that are currently faced in any universities and colleges throughout the country. Thus, University of Bogota student community has fallen victim of this behavioral management dilemma. According to research carried out by UNICEF, statistics results of engagement of maladaptive behavior is very high among students attending universities and colleges. Other studies have proven that vulnerability of this group to be prone to socio-psycho impacts of these behaviors stemming from factors such as peer pressure, lack of guidance, poor time management, and socio-economic struggles. The result of the impacts are intertwined. Therefore, if left unaddressed, these behaviors can severely hinder students' academic progression, emotional well-being, and long-term potential. Therefore, it is crucial to recognize that these issues mainly is disciplinary concerns, but as indicators of much deeper personal and systematic challenges within the academic environment and the country as a whole. However, the alarming rate of the matter can be reduced through proper implementation of effective counseling and mental health issues, peer mentorship programs, regular awareness campaign, effective enforcement of campus regulations, effective academic support services, and promoting healthy recreational activities.